How to create a journal in Canva to sell step by step. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we will be taking a quick look at how you can get started with building your own journal in Canva. So let's get into it. Now, before we get into the design element and using Canva, I need you guys to understand how you're going to publish your journal. So if you're using Amazon KDP, which is Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, you will have to go into the Amazon KDP cover calculator and get a specific template for your journal because Amazon is going to be handling the printing. So you want to create a journal cover or your journal pages in accordance with the formulas that Amazon KDP provides you. Over here, you just have to enter your book information. So let's say we're creating a paperback, black and white paper, left to right, and then we're going to add the trim size, so the size of the journal that we're creating. Let's say we are creating a 8.5 by 11 inches trim. And then you have your page count. So you can add 100 pages, 200 pages, however much you want. You're going to click on calculate dimensions and it will give you a rough idea of the entire dimensions you should be using. So if you are using Amazon KDP, you can download this template and use this template to design over just so you have your entire journal design in mind. So this will allow you to create specific particular designs for the spine of your journal, to create your front embellishments as well as your barcodes. So you can create a very adherent to the Amazon guidelines journal. But if you're using any other publishing method or you're printing them out yourself or you're just using any third-party application, you don't really have to follow these strict guidelines. Even for Amazon KDP, you don't have to follow these strict guidelines. These guidelines will just help you in building the most optimum or optimized journal for the specific platform that you are building for. But one simple way to build your journal is to take whatever your front cover is. So we are going with a 8.5 by 11 inch journal size that we're going for. You can just add a bleed of 0.25 just to make it easier for you to make sure that any of your prints, whatever print you're creating, when it's cut on the sides, the bleed is accounted for. So that is just one really easy way to create a journal. Now, obviously, this might even be a digital journal. So, keeping all of that in mind, I will be building a simple journal today. But if you want to focus on building a KDP optimized journal, check out our other videos on KDP journals where you can upload those journals on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing and get your journals printed and delivered to your customers directly by Amazon. So now heading back on over to Canva, to create our journal, all I will do is click on custom size on the top right, and I can convert that from pixels to inches. Make sure you are doing that because pixel dimensions are going to vary from inches, obviously. Now, a safe bet is to actually create a, let's say for us, it's 2.5 into 11 inch, but you can add 0.25 to that. So it would be 2.75 into 11.25. Now, this is a unnecessary step. This is just to be super safe that any of the print or design that you create does not get cut up when printing. If you are building a digital journal, if you're building something that is, that can be expanded, the design can be expanded, you don't need to do this step. You can see once you type in 8.5 into 11, it will automatically suggest you the notebook size or planner templates, where you can even browse pre-existing journals or planners that have been created. However, I've just opened up a blank canvas and we're going to get started with building our actual new journal. So to get started, the first page that you're going to build for your journal or notebook is going to be your front cover. The front cover usually illustrates the type of design that you're going for or the type of segmentation that you're doing. So I'm going to be building a journal for women, that would be different. If I'm building a journal for a particular reason, such as notebook or, journaling, it's going to be different. If it's a notebook, it's going to be different. So the purposes or the segmentation, the target market is going to be different for the type of journal that you are creating. So moving along, if I'm creating something for maybe, like a weekly planner journal, for that, I would have to create more complicated pages. I would have to create, separate sections for notes, for time tracking, for something like planning, so on and so forth. So make sure to keep that in mind whenever you are building your journal in Canva. Now, for this journal, let's say I'm building a very basic and plain notebook with lined pages without any extra section, with just a basic note section, which usually is taken as, like a basic writing journal for notes or for classes. So for that, I'm going to go into elements, and even in the elements section, I can just search for a background. Or you can even just search for something like, colorful print or something like that to find a print that you would like to use in the as, like the background or as, the base print of your journal. You guys can see this kind of print is pretty trendy right now, and you can just increase the size of the print or even copy and paste it like this. But make sure you are aligning the print if you are copying and pasting it, because these types of prints, if they are misaligned, they don't look very good. So you make sure to keep that in mind if you're using this kind of print in your Amazon KDP journals. But I think I'm going to go with this one. This looks pretty nice, and I'm just going to give it a black background, or you can even match it with the overall color of the photo. But I think I am going to go with a black one like this. First, I'm going to create this design in a larger size, like so, like this. And then I'm going to copy and paste this design, put it back in the smaller size, and then I can place it right over here. I'm going to increase the transparency on the background one that has the larger size, like so. And you're going to make it semi-translucent just to add a bit more of a depth into our front cover. Now, once you have your front cover, you have the design ready, you want to add a section where it illustrates that this is a notebook or a journal or your company or branding. This really depends on the type of marketing you want to do around your specific notebook or journal. So I'm just taking this little square. You can even go into the elements section and search for something a bit more dynamic. So I can even search for moon, and I can go into the graphics over here, and I can take something like this and write the notebook or journal, whatever I want to write. So I'm just going to search for, I think I'm going to use this illustration over here. This, maybe place this like so. I'm going to place this over here. And now I'm just going to add some lined text. I'm just going to use this little blur over here. Using this blur, I'm going to write on top of it, or I think I'm going to use one where I can change the color of the blur to make it slightly easier. But I can't find one that I like with the vibe of my notebook. So I'm just going to write journal on the front in this kind of dynamic font. And I'm going to make sure it's placed in the center. The purple lines will help you in aligning your text. Now, once I have my front cover ready, I'm going to simply click on Add Page on the top right, and then I have my basic white page. Now, you can choose to leave your pages white. I like to add a little bit of a color to my pages, so I like to open up the color wheel over here. If you're going for kind of like a gold or cream page, you can add cream pages. I like them. They usually look a lot better than basic pages. So just add a basic cream page, go into Elements, and then once you're back into Elements, you want to go into your shapes. Click on your basic lines or the dotted lines. This section just really depends on how you want to add everything. And then just straighten them, make sure they are at a 0-degree angle. They should be perfectly straight like this. Once you have your line placed, and if you want to add, a indented paragraph section, you can add that as well. But I'm just going to place a bunch of lines like this, and you can just do Command C and Command V, and then just keep on placing them. And even if they're not properly aligned, you can skip that part for now. Make sure you're adding enough into the page. You don't even have to do this, again and again. You can just copy the entire group and then place them like so, however you want, like this, and delete the bottom one. And then you can just select all of them together, click on these three dots over here. You can click on Align Elements or Space Evenly and just click on Tidy Up over here. And once you click on Tidy Up, it will automatically align them and tidy them up and give them equal distance. And just like that, you have your lined page ready. Now, one thing to keep in mind that lined pages are not usually with black lines. So you usually want to use like a kind of dark gray instead of black because it doesn't look as harsh on cream colored paper. Now you can create a dotted line so people can insert the date of their journal. You can add a page for the name. So you can just click on duplicate pages and then just duplicate this page multiple times to create all the internal pages of your journal. And for the back cover, you can just remove the front title and maybe like your basic illustration and just keep the same background and keep that as the back of your journal. Now make sure to add like a basic page where it includes the name. So you can use like a white page like this, add like a square over here, and then change the color to white over here and then just add, your basic illustration or like a similar type of illustration to the side. And then you can add a space for people to write their name in, or people can write their name in your journal. So just like that, you have your journal ready. You can add any kind of design elements like flowers. So if I just search for flowers or moon, whatever you want, you can add that design element, make it slightly small, and then decrease the transparency just so it fits with the rest of your pages. And just like that, you will have a more interesting page. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. And you are now able to create your journal in Canva. Just to recap, once you have created all of your journal, if you're doing it with KDP or any other platform, if this is not a digital journal, then you want to click on share on the top right, click on download, and you want to make sure to download this as a PDF print. PDF print is the best for printing, and if this is going to be a printed journal, then you want to use this option to make sure that your journal quality is the best when it is delivered to your customers. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you have any questions or queries, leave those in the comment box down below, and I will catch you guys in the next video.